And if that doesn't get you hyped, I don't know what will. It is game number 4, Friday night here in Indianapolis, and the city is electric. The Pacers have a series lead in the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. Can the Thunder come back and get this all-important Game 4 win? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hoop Streams, presented by Nintendo Switch 2. As the fans are ready, I'm ready. My guy Danny Green is ready, and my friend Boomer stopped by. So good to see you.
What's up, Boom?
What's up, Boom? All right, he brought us a gift. Thank you.
Gifts.
Danny, let's show off this shirt because this is awesome. I want everybody to pay attention to the details here. This is the name of all of the Pacers players. And by the way, that's the same Boomer that was with the Pacers 25 years ago when they went to the finals. So that
Boom's been around.
Boom's been around. This is awesome. We thank the Indiana Pacers for their hospitality.
Awesome shirt, man.
What an environment that it was here in Game 3. All right, so we got an interview with Obi Toppin coming your way. We're going to have our guy Brian Windhorst stop by.
Yeah, Windy.
But first, I want to just get your reaction, Danny, to that wild Game 3.
It was a great atmosphere. The building was electric. Got to give a lot of credit to the bench. T.J. McConnell, he kept this building alive. You know, him getting the steals and Mathurin scoring so many points off the bench. Their bench won them the game, but nobody's going to believe Indiana can do it until they actually do it. So.
Which is just wild to me. And the Thunder, look, they were the best team in the NBA. It was obvious all season long.
And they're still the underdogs.
But the Pacers are still the underdogs. And you know, when you really take inventory from the series so far, the teams have had to win in different ways.
Yes.
And I think that's made it an exciting series, too.
Yes, for sure. But the number that I've been looking at the most is the turnovers. That's kind of been dictating the series. And the Thunder kind of made Indiana turn the ball over more in the first 2 games. They obviously lost game 1 because they got rebounded. But last game, the Thunder, 19 turnovers, 21 points. Indiana got out and running, looked like themselves. That's got to be different for them if they want to turn it around.
All right, you know what we like to do here on Hoop Streams? It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. It's a segment we like to call Walk It Out.
Okay.
So, Danny, the guys have really stepped it up during the finals. J-Dub got kind of the camo-ish, tie-dye-ish action going.
I like it. I like it. It looks comfortable, looks cozy. It goes with him. Looks like he's ready for war. I'm giving that
How great of a personality. Now, Chet and I got the same memo. All black everything, Johnny Cash style, and then Isaiah Hartenstein, all business as well.
Chet's got the Nike outfit. Yeah, he's just coming in now. He looks like he's ready for business.
Ooh, I like that little fist bump.
You don't see 7-footers fashionable these days like that. So I like what Isaiah's bringing in.
All right, Pascal Siakam rocking Indiana's gold color, and then he's got the glasses and the hat. Pascal, a man who's really prioritizing comfort here.
Honor the gift. I think that's owed to Russell Westbrook, if I'm not mistaken.
I love that.
That's a great little fashion brand. Nice little line. I like what he's bringing.
All right, and then we got Andrew Nembhard. Now this is what I would call a modern look.
Somewhat.
I like that.
It's like half and half. He's got the collar up top, partying down low. I like it. He said he looks comfortable, got the big Timbs. He looks like a New Yorker, honestly.
Honestly, I'm always into the Timbs. All right, and Bennedict Mathurin. So this is definitely camo
Suave
on the top. And then when the camera zooms out, you'll see it's kind of an interesting situation.
Got the glasses.
On the bottom. Yeah.
I like the camo. I like these guys are ready to battle. I like the glasses smooth. Hopefully comes in another good game 4 for them because they're going to need it from him. And
that camo is very Indiana, by the way. All right, you were a part of many different teams, and you kind of had a different role on every team, which is fairly typical in the NBA. What do you like about the way this Pacers team, they all kind of embrace whatever their role is?
They remind me a lot of my Toronto team.
Yeah.
We're very young, getting out and running, new to all of it. You know, we only had 1 or 2 veterans on our team. Me and Kawhi were the veterans. Kalo was a veteran, but he had never been to the finals. But they're deep. They have a lot of different ways they can beat you. So that was kind of like, we had Pascal on that team. He could also lead you. We had Kyle Lowry. We had Kawhi. We had Fred VanVleet come off the bench, Norman Powell. OG Anunoby, he didn't even play, but we were a very deep team defensively. They were scrambling active. So that's the things that I like about these 2 groups tonight.
And a big shout out to Thunder reporter Nick Gallo, who always has just a great attitude in those post-game interviews. But both of these teams really have fantastic chemistry. You can tell that they embrace whatever their role is.
Yeah.
How important is that team chemistry during the playoffs?
Super important.
You know, not every team actually likes each other.
And that's why a lot of them are not here.
Yep.
You don't have that chemistry, you don't make it here. You got to have, especially with how loud this building gets, you got to be able to kind of feel each other's energy, be on a string without having to communicate, using sign language and signals. you know, obviously the coach comes in, he'll give you a sign of what player to do, but the players too. It's hard for guys to hear everything in the building when it gets that loud. So you got to be able to talk and know each other's energies without using words sometimes. So it's key to have that type of bond, that type of relationship. And that bond helps you get through a lot of battles.
And we saw some of that bond.
Handshakes,
bonds. I mean, when you look at, you're a 3-time champion. So what kind of chemistry does it take to really galvanize and you know, get what everybody wants?
I think for me, the most important side of the ball is the defensive side.
Yeah.
And you got to talk, you got to communicate, you got to be on a string. And that bonding, that chemistry is huge for that end, to be able to know each other and feel each other's energy. Offensively, too, to get a feel. And it helps you get to the next play sooner. Because if there's miscommunication, you can get over it fast if you guys have a good bond. If you don't, it might lead to some arguments. It might be a trickle-down effect to where one mistake might lead to another. You don't need that at this time and point in the season.
You definitely want guys on the same page, too, when that adversity hits and when things get rough. And it feels like both teams have that.
Yes, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins. This is a pivotal game 4. And a lot of we have Wendy coming on later. A lot of takes out there. Whoever wins this game is going to win the series.
All right, it is time now for Power Up Your Play, presented by Nintendo Switch 2. And how great was TJ McConnell in Game 3? He really was that proverbial spark off the bench that seemed to energize himself, his teammates, and quite frankly, the entire state of Indiana. What did you see from TJ McConnell?
He just brought the energy, man.
10 points, 5 assists, 5 steals.
The
That's
passion,
that line.
the energy, him yelling at the crowd, getting him into it. 3 steals, like pick sixes, 3 steals in the backcourt to get easy layups. He got Ben Mathurin going by getting a steal or offensive rebound, getting him an easy layup. Next year, he has 27 points. So small things like that can ignite and dictate the whole momentum of a game or a series. So we'll see if he can do it again tonight. I know they're going to be looking out for him and trying to track him. But his energy, man, is something that OKC's got to kind of find a way to match. If not, he can be a guy that can dictate or decide this game tonight. 3
steals in the backcourt. Is there a case to be made, Danny, that Indiana won't win unless their bench produces?
Yes, I think so. I mean, they're going to be very different on Pascal and Tyrese Haliburton. The way that Indiana has won in the past is they've relied on their depth. Other guys like Obi Toppin, Neesmith, Mathurin, Nembhard, all those others, Turner, Miles Turner, those guys are going to be very huge tonight and key in getting them a win in Game 4 because they're not going to let Tyrese do what he did last game or Pascal do the same.
Mathurin had 27 points. I mean, he was crazy good,
yes,
crazy effective and efficient off of the bench. What did you like about the way he came in this game?
I like that he was just professional in his approach. There was times throughout the whole playoffs where he didn't get a lot of minutes and he wasn't sure if he's going to get shots or opportunity. Rick Carlisle, got to give him a lot of credit. He empowers all of his team. You know, Tony Bradley's ready. Thomas Bryant's ready. Ben Mathurin, he might get 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Next, you know, he can get 25 minutes, comes off the bench, be professional, come in, give a spark, find a rhythm, and then keep attacking, live in the moment, embrace the moment, and help uplift your team to get a win.
And you know what I like? Every NBA team has a stay-ready crew. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's basically the non-starters, the guys that have kind of unpredictable playing time, some of the assistant coaches, some of the trainers, and they all play each other and they stay ready. Games like that are why your stay-ready crew is so important.
100%. That was my mentality going in because I knew I was another guy that wasn't – I was on the scouting report, but I wasn't an emphasis. So it's like I can really dictate or change a series. If I come in and 1 or 2 games, get hot. So it's like, you know, I'm going to try to steal a game myself by doing the little things or some big things, knocking down shots, but steals, taking a charge, block a shot, those things can help tremendously possession by possession by the end of the game.
The Thunder looked a little bit lethargic at the end of that game.
They looked fatigued.
So how is fatigue playing a role in this series, or how can it?
Well, you've seen Shea. He doesn't look the same offensive player because Pascal's getting a switch, and on that end of the floor, he's putting him in the post, banging him a little bit. Nembhard's picking him up full court, top blocking him, getting in him a little bit. So that's wearing on him. You see by the fourth quarter, him and everybody else, they look a little fatigued. I'm sure he's going to make a mental note of it to not get fatigued and try to keep fresh legs. But it's tough. It's easier said than done. And right now, Indiana's been outscoring the OKC Thunder in the fourth quarters by 27 points through the first 3 games.
This Pacers team, they just run and they run and they run.
They don't stop.
One of the key pieces of this Indiana Pacers team is Obi Toppin, and I was able to chat with Obi yesterday. Check it out. We are so happy and thankful to be joined now by Obi Toppin. Obi, last night, Tell me about the reaction in the locker room after that big win.
Felt like everybody stayed calm yesterday. We understand the job's not done. We got this game tomorrow that we have to get to and get a win. So we're just going to learn from these past 3 games and get better from them.
And what was the preparation like after a disappointing game 2?
Yeah.
You guys adjusted, you got the win. What was that preparation coming into game 3?
Just staying resilient. We've been a resilient team the whole year. But we bounced back quickly, and everybody knew what was at stake and knew what we had to do when we come into this building.
What a performance from your bench, especially Bennedict, Mathurin, and TJ McConnell. How much of a luxury is it to have a deep bench that can do that in game 3?
Yeah, our bench is amazing. Ben had an amazing game yesterday. TJ had an amazing game. I feel like everybody on this team understands their assignment when they come onto the floor, knows what they got to do when they get out there, and we just do it to the best of our ability every single game.
You know, I have to ask you about the putback dunk in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when you made such a dominant play and an important play late in the game?
It was just, I know when Ty drives, it's either he's going all the way to the basket, going to shoot a floater or a shot. So I seen 2 heads turned around and just made the cut, and the ball just bounced perfectly off the rim. So I had that opportunity to get that.
Haliburton on the drive, can't get it, Toppin on the follow. The Pacers dream of their first NBA title very much alive.
It gave us a little bit of breathing room, but we always keeping a foot on the gas and going at them.
You guys were able to contain SGA as much as he can be contained. Yeah. What do you need to do in game 4?
Just continue doing what we're doing. Obviously, there's a couple mistakes that we've had, but we've looked over film and got better from them, so we don't do them in game 4.
Tyrese spoke about the fact that this locker room does not listen to the talking heads.
Right.
Do you guys use the underdog narrative as momentum? Do you ignore it? What's your approach? Because you're very much still considered underdogs, strangely enough.
Yeah, we really don't care about the outside noise. We're really focused on the circle that we have inside that locker room every single day. As long as we believe, we really feel like we can get this chip done. But like I said, we have this game tomorrow we have to worry about first, and after we get that, go back to OKC. But we're going to continue learning from all these games and getting better every single day.
This is a team that seems to really like each other. What's it like to have so much chemistry off the court and on the court?
We have a lot of chemistry. Our team, everybody loves each other. We have a lot of fun playing with each other, but that's because of our leaders. They have a lot of trust in us, and it's also they want to see everybody be successful. And so being on the floor with them, there's not one guy on this team that's just going to hold the ball the whole game. Everybody loves to share the ball and get other people involved, and it's fun playing that way. So.
All right, last but not least, you have 3 young kiddos. What's it like to enjoy such an incredible experience as a family?
It's amazing. They're at an age where they don't really understand what's going on right now, but they're having a lot of fun. When the crowd screams, they scream, but they're having a lot of fun. My parents are having a lot of fun as well. My dad, obviously, everybody knows he played ball, but for him to have this opportunity, I know he's super excited.
Your kids know Dad's playing well, too.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time. Good luck in game 4.
Thank you.
Mathurin joins us now, and it is getting loud in here.
Yeah.
You're used to seeing him play for the Chicago Bulls, but you've got a new role this week. You're the NBA correspondent. What's it been like so far?
It's been a little different because you're usually on the other side of it. You're usually getting the interview, so it's a little different. It's good for me to step out of my comfort zone, though.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Coming for our job, man.
It
Tell us
really
what
is.
you've learned about it thus far. Trying to be a reporter or a journalist or an interviewer. What have you learned so far?
I've learned you have to be very calm. You have to speak with not really fast. You don't speak really fast. Everything has to be calm once you speak.
You're way ahead of the game. I talk too fast sometimes, so I got to really slow it down, be louder, be audible. But yes, man, you learn a lot of great things.
What has it been like to be the person asking the questions?
I don't know. You got to have some good questions all the time. If you don't have good questions, I feel like everyone kind of loses track of what you're doing, and you have to have great questions, actually, and you have to be engaged.
You got to kind of try to think outside the box a little bit. Try act something new or different. So I'm going to give you the opportunity now. You have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever messed up on live TV?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, have we messed up on live.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes, and you know what you do? It's like when you make a play on the court, or you miss a shot, or something doesn't go according to plan. We got the rest of the game. We have the rest of the show, so we just got to bounce back and keep it moving.
Next play mentality.
Yeah.
Next play mentality.
I mean, I did play a little bit, so if you have any on-court questions, you can ask here too as well.
I wanted to ask you about your shooting routine.
Okay.
So how is it? Very strict? Is it like, how is it? How did you build it from your rookie year to, being a vet?
And that is a great question. So I was a good shooter, but I wasn't a great shooter. It took a lot of reps of 2 a days of repetition over and over, shooting the same way every time, holding the follow through until the ball hit the ground. It didn't count unless the ball hit the ground. So I got to thank Chad Forcier, Will Hardy. He's a coach of the Utah Jazz. Those are my guys that I started out with, and they perfected it and made me a way better shooter.
Hey, thank you for joining us. By the way, that was a great question. And you're here with your dad. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Go live it up before you take
Yeah, man. Enjoy the finals, man. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, thank you so much, man. To be a player and to get that experience has to be so cool.
Man, as a rookie coming to the finals the first time, I never got a chance to experience that or even be here. So you can imagine. And also interview guys, trying to think of questions to ask. He asked me a really good question. I think he's going to be a really great player. He has a lot of tools, a lot of potential. And actually, when people talk about Cooper Flagg, of like who he comparable to, this is one of the kids that I kind of compared him to, because he has so much potential, a lot of tools. He just hasn't gotten the hype yet.
All right, shifting now, I want to focus on a narrative that's kind of being written about this Pacers team. And Danny, maybe you can relate. You won 3 NBA titles with 3 different teams. Your role was evolving in each team, like we talked about earlier.
Yes.
The thing that everybody says about this Pacers team is that they are underdogs.
Yes.
So let's check out a little segment we like to call Danny and the Underdogs.
Yeah, I was an underdog for some of those teams. In Toronto, we were definitely an underdog. LA, not so much. San Antonio, we were somewhat of an underdog as well.
Do you think that fuels this Pacers team? Do you think they ignore it? I've heard different things from different guys.
Do I think they what now?
It's very loud in here, by the way.
Yes.
Do you think that they ignore it? Do you think it fuels them?
I don't think they ignore it. I think it fuels them more so than anything. They use that as a chip, that energy. They can, harness that and say everybody's doubting them. Nobody's thinking they could beat this team. Nobody's thinking they can win it. So that's just extra fuel that you can use to add to the fire to give you that motivation to come in and stay locked in 48 minutes and to want to beat a team that everybody is counting you out on.
What advice would you give those role players that are coming off of the bench and having such success?
Come in and make an impact. Be ready, stay ready. Do what TJ McConnell's doing, Ben Mathurin's doing. You never know whose game it's going to be, but come in and try to steal one for your team by doing the little things first. Fuel that with energy, fuel with defense, maybe a shot or two. You never know if you're going to get 2 minutes or 20 minutes, but come in, stay ready, and be ready. And
it may sound cliche or trite, but it feels like literally every NBA Finals, you've got 1 game or 2 games where role players just pop off, and then they're cemented in NBA Finals history.
Nobody knew Fred VanVleet was going to get an MVP vote. He came in, he killed it.
My guy, Steady Freddy.
I got a chance in 2013 to get in coming hot. Nobody expected that. Tony was the MVP all year long. Timmy, I came in and did something that they didn't have on the scout report, so it gave us an edge, even though we lost in 2013, but it gave us a chance to almost win that series.
So they were wearing shirts the other night here in the crowd that said, in 49 other states, it's just basketball, but this is Indiana.
This is Indiana.
And I talked to Rick Carlisle, and when I was interviewing him, he said that he and his coaching staff think that it's important for the Pacers team to take on the personality of Indiana basketball. He brought up the movie Hoosiers. He brought up Indiana. He brought up Purdue University and said that his Pacers team really mirrors that unselfish brand of basketball that's so popular here in Indiana.
And you can tell.
Yeah, I was going to say, Danny, do you think it's important for markets to kind of take on the personality?
Very important, and it helps get the fans involved. And you need that when you're at home court. You need that support because they were down early in that first quarter. If they didn't have these fans, I don't know if they get back. So this fans, this building, it's been electric. Them kind of honing in on that. This is Indiana, and them buying into that, I think it's helped them a huge amount being at home court and having that advantage. I haven't seen Caitlin Clark in the building yet. I know they're 8-0 with her in the building, so they're going to need all the support they get playing against this Oklahoma City Thunder team.
Well, Game 4 is crucial. It has a history of being crucial. Here are some of the best moments in Game 4 NBA Finals history.
We played so well offensively in the second quarter.
Richard Jefferson, get out of the way. That is a throwdown.
And better than you have to be in the series. Bryant giving it up.
And turn it down. Barnes, as Mozgov throws it down.
How about the vision?
Over to Fisher. Fisher looking. Fisher puts up the three. Ties the game! Against Peaches, here comes the double. Up top to Fisher, straight on three. Puts it in! Alley-oop to Wade, and he finishes! Oh, perfect pass! And Dwayne Wade throws it down. Mills, not that time. Leonard on the follow! Kawhi Leonard throws it down, and it's a 22-point game. James drives, scoop layup, pass to himself, and he throws it down. He went up in the air and had nowhere to go.
You're watching Hoop Streams presented by Nintendo Switch 2, and we bring in our guy, Brian Windhorst. You just saw that. There's a long history of Game 4 being really important. What do you expect tonight?
I can think of two right off the bat. 2022, the same situation. The Warriors were on the road, down 2-1. They were the favorite. Steph had 43 points. 43 points. They ended up winning 3 in a row, win 4-2. 2015, the Warriors are in Cleveland. Again, the favorite, down 2-1. They win Game 4. Andre Iguodala had a huge night. They win 3 in a row, win the series. So, here we are. The favorite is down. Guys, they made a change since you've got on in the air. They've gone back to their original starting lineup.
Wow. Okay.
Isaiah Hartenstein is back in. Cason Wall is out. They're going to play double big. Now, I think the reason they're doing that, guys, is I think they want Hartenstein to play, get some more time. But I also think that it's an opportunity for Indiana to attack the double big lineup a little bit, which we haven't seen as much.
It's going to be interesting.
Give me your reaction to that lineup change.
I love the change. I wanted to see more of that because I think it opens up the floor more for Chet to be able to play more free. And defensively, I know they're worried about switching and guarding Tyrese in the pick and rolls. But when you have big, you have defensive help behind you. So Chet can get out there more. Isaiah can get out there knowing that there's a 5 behind them to protect them. And they can out-rebound them. So they better take advantage of it, play at their pace, not Indiana's pace, try to out-rebound them, but also give their bigs a chance to get out on the floor and protect each other and open up the floor offensively for Chet.
The other thing I think is important, the team that's won the bench scoring has won all 3 games.
Yeah.
And so this puts the Thunder bench back to the way they were playing coming into the series. You know, certainly they won't be able to go as big off the bench, but they get to bring in Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso, which is their defensive strong lineup off the bench. It could potentially mean some more time for Aaron Wiggins. Dealing with that bench power that Indiana brought in Game 3 is obviously a big part of the game plan coming in for the Thunder.
And SGA was held to 24 points. What can Shea do differently, if at all?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Andrew Nembhard is giving him some problems. Now, 24 points is still pretty good for most people.
It is. He's an MVP.
But Nembhard, when he is guarding him, when he is guarding Shea, Shea is just 7 of 20 shooting in this series when he's the direct defender. That's amazing. And also in Game 3, they had Shea getting 6 turnovers, 6 free throws. That's a huge win for the Pacers. So I think he's got to put Nembhard more on his heels. Got to attack Nembhard more. You can't let him get into your head. Danny, I think Nembhard's unnerved Shea a couple of times in this series. I did not expect that.
Definitely. He's got under his skin. He made him come out of character a little bit. But knowing SGA in the past, I expect him to come out with a different mentality. And I think he knows these stats that you're saying. And he's like, I'm not going to let Nembhard get under my skin or hold me to this amount. They're going to need a full group to do this. They're going to find ways to make it easier for him. But he's going to be in full attack mode. He's going to get to the free throw line a lot more tonight than he did in Game 3.
I believe that.
Do the Pacers or the Thunder have the better bench, and why?
Who do I think has the better what?
Bench.
Ooh.
It is loud in here, by the way.
With the lineup change, I think it's a fair fight now. It's more of a fair fight. Before, I think Indiana's bench was deeper. But with Cason Wallace on the bench now, depends on who shows up. I'm going to go OKC tonight.
Wallace and Caruso are the best 2 defenders coming off a bench I've ever seen in my 20 years in the NBA. But I will say that Ben Mathurin is the Pacers' number 3 scorer. When he's on, the Thunder can't match that scoring off the bench. Obviously, he was on in Game 3. We'll see about tonight.
Miles Turner was a little bit under the weather for Game 3, but you wouldn't have known it. He made an impact with 5 blocks. How has Miles Turner quietly been kind of the rock for the Pacers, Danny?
Just how he's protected the rim. Chet came out huge in the first half, played well, had about, I think, 13 or 14 in the first half, ended up with 20. Mathurin kind of cut that water off in the second half. He had a lot of blocks. He did a lot of different small, like, blue-collar things that changed the game. They might not show up in the stat sheet, but even though him being under weather, he was a huge impact with how he set screens, how he rolled to the basket, and most importantly, protecting him and blocking shots and not letting Chet get in there and get easy baskets.
Defensively, what do you want to see from the Thunder tonight?
Okay, so they really have got to start the defense with their offense. They had 19 turnovers in Game 3. That's the most turnovers they've had the entire playoffs and the second most they've had the whole season.
Wow.
When they're into their half-court defense, they're one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen. Stop letting the Pacers play with so much pace in the transition. And inbound the ball, Danny.
Yes, to
Don't
your
let
team.
TJ McConnell steal the inbounds pass 3 times, much less once.
I'm with you on that, Wendy, but I would love to see just more activity. I want to see them be more aggressive defensively, get into guys, and set the tone with being physical like they've done in the past. Deflections on pocket passes. Don't let Tyrese get comfortable in throwing cross-court passes. If they do that, it's a totally different game for them and a totally different game for Indiana.
Caruso and Wiggins really stepped up in Game 2. Then you had McConnell and Mathurin in Game 3. Who's going to step up tonight?
For Indiana, I'm going with a Neesmith night tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, he's due. You're right.
Neesmith or Nembhard. One of those two guys I think are really due.
What about you?
Chet Holmgren needs to have a big game.
Yep.
We've seen Jalen Williams. He's played well. Shea has been the Thunder's MVP, as we would expect. I know that Chet had 20 points in Game 3, but he was not impactful in the second half of that game. He needs to be impactful tonight. And Danny, you're right. The starting lineup change is to benefit Chet. Chet is got to be a star player tonight.
Speaking of star players, Tyrese Haliburton. It feels like he's cementing his legacy. What do you think Tyrese's mindset is heading into this game?
Aggression, aggression, aggression. He has got to get his shots up because when he is shooting, he is also assisting. When he is on the attack, they are a completely different team. There's crazy numbers. 8-1 in the playoffs when he scores 20 points. 33-4 over the whole season when he scores 20 points. Undefeated in the playoffs when he gets 11 assists. He makes it happen for them. If they're going to get beat, he's got to get beat going down, swinging. He needs to get at least 18, 19 shots up to get their offense to where they need to be.
I'm sure Caitlin Clark is saying the same thing. I don't know if you heard earlier, but Ramona did a story that they have a group chat, and she's telling them in the group chat, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. And he doesn't necessarily need to shoot it every time, but he definitely needs to get downhill and put some pressure on the defense, and that's the only way that they can survive this series.
All right, Danny, give me your pick. Who wins Game 4?
I had OKC in 6 to start the series. I think this goes 7 games, and the only way that happens is if OKC evens it up tonight. So I'm going OKC tonight.
And Wendy, give us something to look for.
The winner of tonight's game.
Wins the whole thing?
Probably. I've seen enough of this series. I've seen enough basketball, enough
Been around
series.
for a long time.
I've felt this before in the last decade. I said in 2022,
yes.
2015. I feel like the winner tonight gets the trophy next week.
That's a very good take, and history says that you're correct. We shall see. It is already so loud in here, guys. Thank you for joining us, Wendy, my guy, Davey. Appreciate it. You have been watching Hoop Streams presented by Nintendo Switch 2. Thank you, everybody, for watching ahead of this massive game. We'll also be with you pregame, of course, ahead of Game 5. See ya. All right, let's get it.